marvel, the Ancient One comes to the door, will he sound the thunder to keep him alive? Chapter 21. The little gangster wants me to take action? The teammates listened carefully, followed Lin Feng's guidance, and tried to cast magic together. Although there are some difficulties, they are working hard and gradually mastering these powerful magics. It's great, we are all becoming stronger, Scarlet Witch said, with hope shining in her eyes. Hulk also showed a pleased smile. Yes, we must continue to work hard to meet the challenges of the future. Lin Feng felt a warmth. He knew that with the support of these friends, they would be able to overcome everything. Together they developed a more detailed training plan to continue improving their strength and skills. In the days that followed, Lin Feng and his teammates continued to work hard and gradually formed a strong and well-coordinated team. They have overcome various crises time and time again and gradually won reputation and respect in the world. The letter provided some clues, pointing to a secret laboratory located in a remote mountainous area. Lin Feng packed his bags and embarked on the road to find the truth. A few days later, he arrived at the location mentioned in the letter, but what he saw surprised him. The laboratory has long been abandoned, but the surrounding wreckage and ruins revealed traces of a fierce battle. While Lin Feng was looking for clues, he suddenly heard a low roar. Turning around, he saw a tall, green giant walking towards him. Lin Feng recognized this as the Hulk, the superhero who appeared frequently in the news. The Hulk looked extremely angry, with uncontrollable rage burning in his eyes. Although Lin Feng was a little scared, he knew this was an opportunity to learn about his parents' whereabouts. He mustered up the courage, took a step forward, and asked loudly, Mr. Hulk, my name is Lin Feng, and I am looking for my parents. They are scientists and once worked here. Do you know their whereabouts? The Hulk stopped and stared at Lin Feng, seeming to be thinking about something. After a while, his body began to shrink and slowly changed back to Bruce Banner. Dr. Banner looked a little tired, but he gently said to Lin Feng, Are the scientists you are talking about Lin Jihua and Li Shui? When Lin Feng heard his parents' names, his eyes lit up and he nodded excitedly. Dr. Banner sighed and continued, They were my former colleagues and very good scientists. While they were studying a new energy source, they encountered an accident. This accident not only destroyed the laboratory once, they disappeared. I tried to find their whereabouts, but to no avail. Lin Feng felt an indescribable sadness and loss, but he still refused to give up. He asked, Doctor, do you know the specific content of their last experiment? Maybe this can give me some clues. Dr. Banner nodded and led Lin Feng into a secret room in the abandoned laboratory. Some remaining experimental data and records are kept in the room. Dr. Banner explained, they were studying a device that could stabilize high-energy particles. This device could theoretically bring unlimited clean energy to the world, but there are also huge risks. Lin Feng read these records carefully and found that one of them described a mysterious energy fluctuation that seemed to be related to some kind of cosmic force. This made him realize that the disappearance of his parents might not be an ordinary experimental accident, but involved a deeper secret. At this moment, there was a rush of footsteps outside the room, and then a group of people in black uniforms broke in, led by a ruthless middle-aged man. They were obviously coming for Dr. Banner and Lin Feng. Dr. Banner recognized their identities at a glance and whispered to Lin Feng, These people are SHIELD agents. They have been monitoring my actions. We must leave here immediately. Lin Feng nodded, and the two quickly escaped from the laboratory through the back door. However, the agents were in hot pursuit, and the two sides launched a fierce chase in the abandoned experimental base. Dr. Banner used his agile skills and rich experience to lead Lin Feng to escape, but was soon forced into a desperate situation. On the edge of a cliff, Dr. Banner and Lin Feng had no way to retreat. The agents were approaching step by step, and a fierce battle was inevitable. At this moment, Dr. Banner transformed into the Hulk again, roared angrily, and beat back the agents with his huge fists. However, this also allowed Lin Feng to see the Hulk's uncontrollable rage and destructive power. Under the protection of the Hulk, Lin Feng was finally able to escape. He knows that the road to find his parents is not destined to be smooth, but he also understands that only by moving forward can he find the truth. With the clues provided by Dr. Banner, Lin Feng decided to go to a mysterious place in the universe, which was the source of the energy fluctuations mentioned in his parents' last experiment. Lin Feng left the Earth, took a secretly developed spaceship and headed for the unknown star field. During this journey, he encountered many strange creatures and dangerous challenges, but he never gave up looking for his parents. One day, Lin Feng's spaceship was attracted by a powerful energy wave and crash-landed on a desolate planet. The sky here is shrouded in purple light, and the air is filled with mysterious energy. Lin Feng carefully explored the surface of the planet and finally discovered an ancient ruins. Entering the ruins, Lin Feng was surprised to find that a large amount of research information and equipment on cosmic energy were preserved here. The style of these devices is completely different from the technology on Earth, and they obviously come from some kind of advanced civilization. In a secret laboratory, Lin Feng found a well-preserved energy device, which was exactly the kind of device mentioned in his parents' experiment. Just when Lin Feng tried to activate the device, a tall figure wearing silver armor appeared in front of him. The man said coldly, "You shouldn't come here, everything here doesn't belong to you." Lin Feng looked up and found that this was an alien warrior with powerful power. Although he felt extremely dangerous, Lin Feng still said firmly, "I came here to find my parents. They were experimented here and disappeared. I must find their whereabouts." The alien warrior was silent for a moment, seeming to weigh Lin Feng's words. Finally, he nodded and said, "Your courage is admirable. I can tell you something, but it will also put you in greater danger." Discovered to be an alien warrior with great power. Although I feel extremely dangerous. Chapter 22. The dog jumps over the wall in a hurry. Lin Feng nodded without hesitation, indicating that he was willing to accept any risk. The alien warrior then took him into the depths of the ruins, where there was a huge energy transmission device. The warrior explained, "Your parents did come here. Their experiments triggered an energy resonance across space, and as a result they were transported to another dimension." When Lin Feng heard the news, his heart was filled with complex emotions, including hope and worry. He asked, "Then how can I find them? Is there any way to enter that dimension?" The alien warrior thought for a moment and replied, "Entering that dimension requires powerful energy and precise calculations. Although the equipment here is damaged, it can still be repaired. I will help you repair it, but you must be mentally prepared, because that dimension is full of unknown dangers." Lin Feng took a deep breath and nodded firmly. With the help of alien warriors, he began to repair the energy transmission device. After several days of hard work, the device finally resumed operation. Lin Feng stood in front of the transmission device, his heart full of expectations and tension about the future. When the device was activated, a dazzling light enveloped Lin Feng. He felt that his body was wrapped in a powerful force, and then he was transported to a strange world. This world is full of strange sights and mysterious creatures, completely beyond his imagination. Lin Feng struggled to explore this new world and encountered many friendly and hostile creatures. During a battle, he met a mysterious woman who claimed to be the guardian of this dimension. She told Lin Feng that this dimension is full of energy and danger, but also contains many secrets. Under her guidance, Lin Feng gradually adapted to this world and learned how to utilize the energy here. Together they embark on a journey to find their parents, gradually uncovering the secrets about this dimension and their parents' experiments. Lin Feng stood in front of the ancient portal, his heart filled with complex emotions. He stretched out his hand to touch the doorframe and felt a strange energy transmitting from his fingertips to his whole body. At this moment, he understood that behind this door might be the truth he had been looking for a long time. "Are you ready?" The guardian stood behind him, with a hint of concern in his voice. Lin Feng took a deep breath, turned around and nodded to the guardian, "No matter what lies ahead, I must find my parents." The guardian showed a smile and patted Lin Feng's shoulder gently, "You have extraordinary courage and determination. I hope this journey will be as you wish." Lin Feng turned to the portal again, feeling a firm force surge in his heart. He slowly stepped into the radiant portal. In an instant, he felt a huge energy wrap around him, as if his body was torn apart, but it healed quickly. He opened his eyes and found himself standing in a completely unfamiliar world. The sky here is purple, surrounded by strange plants, and the air is filled with a mysterious aroma. Lin Feng felt confused for a while, but he quickly calmed down and began to look for clues. At this time, he noticed an ancient stone tablet not far away, with lines of strange symbols engraved on it. Lin Feng took a closer look and found that these symbols seemed to be in ancient writing. He tried to recall similar symbols he had seen in his parents' research notes and tried to decipher their meaning. This may be a clue to a deeper level, Lin Feng whispered to himself, maybe my parents left their traces here. At this moment, he heard slight footsteps behind him. Lin Feng turned around quickly and saw a thin man walking towards him. The man was wearing a strange robe and had a mysterious smile on his face. Who are you? Lin Feng asked alertly, clenching his fists with both hands, ready to deal with possible dangers at any time. The man stopped, smiled, and said, you can call me Raphael. I know you are looking for your parents, maybe I can help you. Lin Feng frowned, obviously not trusting the stranger who suddenly appeared in front of him. How do you know about me? How can you help me? Raphael smiled softly and raised his hand to point to the stone tablet. This stone tablet records the research results of your parents and their whereabouts. If you can decipher these symbols, you can find them. Lin Feng's heart moved and he stared at the symbols on the stone tablet. Then why do you want to help me? Raphael shrugged, because your parents once helped us, and their research is crucial to our world. Helping you find them is also a help to ourselves. Lin Feng took a deep breath and felt a surge of hope welling up in his heart. Although the situation in front of him was full of unknowns, he knew that this was a rare opportunity. He nodded, okay, I accept your help. In the days that followed, Raphael took Lin Feng to explore this strange world. They encountered all kinds of strange creatures and experienced many dangers. But every time, Raphael can always lead Lin Feng to turn danger into safety. This made Lin Feng gradually develop a sense of trust in him. One night, Lin Feng and Raphael were resting in a cave. Lin Feng looked at the starry sky outside the cave, with many thoughts in his mind. He asked in a low voice, Raphael, where do you think my parents are now? Are they okay? Raphael was silent for a while and replied, they are indeed here, but their situation may not be optimistic. Their research triggered some unstable factors, causing them to be trapped in a closed space. Lin Feng felt his heart tightening and asked eagerly, then how can we find them and rescue them? Raphael looked at Lin Feng, a complex emotion flashing in his eyes. This needs to be faced and solved by yourself. Only you can open that closed space, because you are their son, you have their blood and strength. Lin Feng felt both excitement and fear in his heart. He knows that the road ahead will be more difficult and dangerous, but he also understands that this is a road he must go on. The next morning, Lin Feng and Raphael continued their journey. After several days of arduous trek, they finally came to a huge stone gate. The stone door is engraved with complex symbols and patterns, which looks full of mystery and power. This is the entrance to the enclosed space. Raphael pointed at the stone door and said, you need to use your blood to open it. Lin Feng walked to the stone door, his heart filled with complicated emotions. He bit his fingertip and dripped a few drops of blood on the stone door. After a while, the stone door made a low roar and slowly opened. Chapter 23. Arc Reactor. Through the stone door, Lin Feng saw a space surrounded by energy. Two familiar figures suspended in the center of the space were his parents. Lin Feng's eyes were moist, and he shouted loudly, Dad and Mom, I'm coming. Lin Jihua and Li Shui opened their eyes and saw Lin Feng, with expressions of surprise and joy on their faces. Lin Jihua said excitedly, Lin Feng, why are you here? How did you find us? Lin Feng walked quickly to his parents, tears streaming down his face. I've been looking for you, and finally found you. We have to get out of here quickly, this place is too dangerous. Li Shui reached out and touched Lin Feng's face, her eyes full of love. We know that you will definitely find us. Thank you, son. At this moment, the space began to vibrate violently, and the energy fluctuations became extremely unstable. Raphael shouted nervously, Lin Feng, take your parents out of here quickly, the space is about to collapse. Lin Feng held his father with one hand and his mother with the other, and quickly ran out of the stone gate. As soon as the three people passed through the stone door, the entire space collapsed in a burst of dazzling light and turned into nothingness. Lin Feng took his parents to escape from the dangerous area and finally returned to a safe area. They sat on a big rock, looked at each other and smiled, their hearts filled with endless gratitude and joy. Lin Feng, thank you. Lin Jihua held his son's hand, tears flashing in his eyes. If it weren't for you, we might never be able to escape from that place. Lin Feng smiled and shook his head, Dad, Mom, I am your son, how could I not come to you? It's all worth it. Li Shui gently hugged Lin Feng, we owe you a lot. We must compensate you well when we get home. Lin Feng nodded, his heart filled with longing and hope for the future. Although this journey was full of hardships and dangers, he knew that as long as the family stayed together, any difficulties could be overcome. Just as they were about to leave this mysterious land, Lin Feng suddenly thought of a question. Raphael, why don't you come with us? Don't you want to go back to your own world? Raphael smiled and shook his head. My mission has been completed, and there are still many places in this world that I need to protect. I will stay here until peace is restored in this world. Lin Feng bowed deeply. Thank you, Raphael. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to find my parents. Raphael patted Lin Feng's shoulder lightly. This is all the result of your own courage and determination. I wish you a safe journey. Lin Feng and his parents headed all the way home. However, when they reached a jungle, there was suddenly a low roar in front of them, which made the ground shake. Lin Feng's heart tightened, and he turned around and said to his parents, You guys find a place to hide first, and I'll go check on the situation. Lin Jiahua and Li Shui looked at their son worriedly, but nodded and quickly found a hidden place to hide. Lin Feng took a deep breath and walked towards the direction where the sound came from. He was a little nervous but also a little expectant, wondering if this encounter would be related to his adventure. Walking into the depths of the jungle, Lin Feng found a tall figure standing in the open space in front of him. It was the Hulk. The Hulk looked extremely angry, his muscles all over his body were tense, and his eyes were burning with uncontrollable rage. Lin Feng suddenly felt a pressure, but he still stepped forward firmly. Mr. Hulk, why are you here? Lin Feng asked loudly, trying to keep his voice calm. The Hulk turned around, and his deep voice echoed in the air like thunder. You shouldn't come here, this area is dangerous. Lin Feng took a deep breath and tried to communicate with the Hulk. I know it's dangerous here, but I have to find my parents. They encountered an accident here, and now we have just reunited and are preparing to leave. The Hulk frowned slightly, obviously thinking about Lin Feng's words. After a moment, he said coldly, Your arrival has broken the balance here, and staying will only bring more dangers. Lin Feng felt powerless, but he could not retreat. He said firmly, I understand the danger here, but my parents also have the right to live. We just want to go home. The Hulk was silent for a while, seeming to be struggling within himself. His anger gradually subsided, and his tone softened a little. Your parents are excellent scientists, and their research has an important impact on the world. I don't want to hurt you, but you must promise not to get involved in anything here again. Lin Feng nodded and expressed his understanding. Thank you, we will leave as soon as possible and no longer disturb the peace here. Just as Lin Feng was about to leave, he suddenly remembered something and turned around and asked, Mr. Hulk, do you know what the energy fluctuations here are about? Is this related to my parents? The Hulk nodded slightly. The energy fluctuations here are due to an ancient battle involving many powerful beings. Your parents were trying to study these energies at the time, and ended up getting involved. Lin Feng frowned, and countless questions arose in his heart. Then what are these powerful beings? Are they still here now? The Hulk took a deep look at Lin Feng. These beings come from different worlds, and their power is beyond your imagination. Although most of them have left, the energy fluctuations they left behind will still affect everything here. Lin Feng nodded, secretly determined to take his parents out of this dangerous place as soon as possible. He said to the Hulk, Thank you for your message, I will keep it in mind. Let's leave now. The Hulk waved his hand gently. Go ahead and remember what you said. Lin Feng quickly returned to his parents and told them the Hulk's warning and the conversation just now. After hearing this, Lin Jiahua and Li Shui's expressions became solemn. Lin Jiahua said, It seems that we have been involved in an incident beyond our control and must leave as soon as possible. The family quickened their pace and walked through the jungle toward safety. Lin Feng was thinking as he walked, his heart filled with worries about the future and fear of the unknown. He knew that the fate of himself and his parents had been changed, and he could not predict the consequences of this change. After walking for several days, they finally saw the outline of the city ahead. Lin Feng breathed a sigh of relief and finally returned to a relatively safe place. However, he soon realized that this adventure was not the end, but might just be a new beginning. Chapter 24. Preventing Accidents. After returning to the city, Lin Feng and his parents settled down temporarily. They rented a small apartment and began to organize the materials and equipment brought back from the laboratory. Lin Jiahua and Li Shui reinvested in research, while Lin Feng was responsible for outbound procurement and safety inspections. One night, Lin Feng sat in front of the window, looking at the starry sky outside, with a lot of thoughts in his heart. He couldn't help but think of how many unknown secrets and dangers were waiting for him to discover and face in this vast universe. Just as he was deep in thought, the door was gently pushed open and Li Shui walked in. She asked gently, "Lin Feng, what are you thinking about?" Lin Feng smiled slightly and replied, "Mom, I'm thinking about what we should do next. Although we are safe for the time being, I always feel that this incident is not completely over." Li Shui sighed and sat next to Lin Feng. "Your father and I feel the same way. We must continue to research and find a more comprehensive solution." Lin Feng nodded, feeling a little warm in his heart. "No matter how many difficulties there are ahead, I will face them together with you." Li Shui gently patted Lin Feng's shoulder, her eyes filled with determination. "We are a family, nothing can break us." In the days that followed, Lin Feng and his family continued their research and life. Although the road ahead is full of unknowns, they know that as long as they support and trust each other, they can overcome all difficulties. As time goes by, they gradually discover more secrets about energy fluctuations, and gradually realize that the world is far more complex and mysterious than they imagined. One day, while Lin Feng was out shopping, he met a mysterious stranger. The man was tall, wearing a black cloak and a strange mask on his face. He walked up to Lin Feng and whispered, "I know you are looking for answers, and I also know your parents' research. I can help you, but you must pay the corresponding price." Lin Feng's heart tightened and he asked alertly, "Who are you? Why do you want to help me?" The stranger smiled lowly and said, "My name is not important. What is important is that I have the information you want. If you are willing, we can make a transaction." Lin Feng hesitated for a moment, but he knew that he and his parents had reached a point where they could no longer retreat. He nodded, "Okay, I accept your deal. Tell me what you know." The stranger nodded with satisfaction and handed Lin Feng an ancient parchment. "This is the information you need. It records the source and solution of energy fluctuations." Lin Feng took the parchment, his heart filled with complex emotions. He knew that this piece of paper might bring more dangers and challenges, but he had no choice but to move forward. After returning home, Lin Feng told his parents the information on the parchment. After careful study, Lin Jiahua said excitedly, "This does contain the information we need, but it also means that we must embark on an adventurous journey again." Lin Feng nodded and said firmly, "No matter how many difficulties there are ahead, we will face them together." In this way, Lin Feng and his parents once again embarked on a journey to find the truth. This time, they not only have to face unknown dangers, but also unlock the huge secret behind the energy fluctuations. They know that this will be an arduous battle, but they also understand that as long as the family is together, nothing can stop them. As the journey progresses, they gradually discover that this world hides countless secrets and dangers, and their fate is destined to be closely linked to these secrets and dangers. In constant exploration and fighting, Lin Feng and his parents gradually grew up and became stronger and braver. One day, they came to an ancient ruins, and a huge underground laboratory was hidden in the ruins. A large amount of research information and equipment on energy fluctuations are stored in the laboratory, which is obviously a very important location. Lin Feng and his parents entered the laboratory and began to study everything here carefully. Just as they were studying in depth, they suddenly heard a low roar and the floor of the laboratory began to shake violently. Lin Feng's heart tightened and he quickly became alert. "Dad, Mom, if there is a situation, we must leave immediately." Lin Jiahua and Li Shui nodded, quickly packed up the important information and equipment, and followed Lin Feng towards the exit of the laboratory. However, when they rushed out of the laboratory, what they saw shocked them. Lin Feng, Lin Jiahua and Li Shui ran out of the laboratory and faced the furious Hulk. Their moods became extremely heavy. The Hulk's anger made the air seem to be stagnant. Lin Feng felt a strong sense of oppression, but he knew that he had to stay calm to solve the problem. "Mr. Hulk, why are you blocking us again?" Lin Feng asked loudly, trying to sound firm and calm. The Hulk's muscles tensed up, he glared at Lin Feng's family, and roared in a low voice, "What are you doing? This laboratory is an extremely dangerous place, you should not break in without permission." Lin Feng took a deep breath, calmed down the tension in his heart, and explained as calmly as possible, "We are here to find a solution to energy fluctuations. We have no ill intentions, we just want to find the truth." The Hulk was silent for a moment. The anger in his eyes seemed to have subsided, but he was still full of vigilance. The energy fluctuations here involve many unknown dangers. Once handled improperly, the consequences will be disastrous. You must ensure that you will not disturb the balance here again. Lin Feng nodded and expressed understanding. We understand your concerns and will try to deal with them as carefully as possible. But please believe that our goals are the same, to protect the world. The Hulk seemed a little moved, with a trace of complicated emotions flashing in his eyes, and whispered, I know you are determined and courageous, but you must also understand that this road is full of dangers and challenges. I hope you can do it very well prepared. Lin Feng felt relieved, knowing that the Hulk in front of him was not actually an enemy, but a powerful ally. He expressed his gratitude again. Thank you for your reminder and help. We will prepare as soon as possible to ensure that we will not cause any trouble here again. The Hulk nodded, then turned around and disappeared into the depths of the jungle, leaving behind a silent empty space. Lin Feng looked at his back, feeling both admiration and a little uneasiness in his heart. Returning to his parents, Lin Feng looked at their tired faces and secretly made up his mind to protect them. Lin Jihua patted Lin Feng on the shoulder and whispered, we must be more careful and cautious. What happened this time is no accident. You need to be more prepared. Chapter 25. For Frank. Lin Feng nodded, with a firm light flashing in his eyes. I will, Dad. We must find a solution. Only in this way can we truly end this crisis. In the days that followed, Lin Feng and his family devoted themselves to preparations. They reorganized experimental data, analyzed the source and nature of energy fluctuations, and strengthened their own protective measures. Lin Feng was busy purchasing various necessary equipment and materials during the day, and discussed the research progress with his parents at night. One night, Lin Feng was lying on the bed, his thoughts racing. He looked at the ceiling, constantly thinking about the Hulk's words and his parents' expectations. He felt that the responsibility on his shoulders was getting heavier and heavier, but he also understood that this was what he had to bear. I can't let them down, Lin Feng said to himself silently in his heart. No matter how difficult it is, I must persevere. The next day, Lin Feng got up early and started making final preparations for the next action. He puts on protective clothing and checks various equipment and tools to make sure everything is in top condition. Lin Jihua and Li Shui were also busy with the final proofreading of experimental data and equipment debugging. Lin Feng walked to his parents and said softly, we are almost ready, it's time to start taking action. Lin Jihua nodded, his eyes full of trust and determination. We will succeed if we work together. Li Shui smiled and held Lin Feng's hand. Remember, no matter what difficulties we encounter, we must support each other and never give up. Lin Feng felt a warm power flowing in his heart. He knew that as long as the family united, nothing could defeat them. He took a deep breath and said firmly, okay, let's go. They once again embarked on a journey to find the truth. This time, their goals were clearer and they were more prepared. Along the way, Lin Feng remained alert at all times, constantly observing the surrounding environment to ensure that he would not be disturbed by accidents. When they came to the ancient ruins again, Lin Feng felt a powerful energy wave coming from the underground. They found a hidden entrance and entered the underground laboratory under the ruins. This time, the laboratory's equipment and materials appear more complete and orderly, and it is obviously a higher-level research base. Lin Jihua quickly began to analyze the equipment and data, while Li Shui was responsible for monitoring the surrounding energy fluctuations. Lin Feng patrolled inside and outside the laboratory to ensure that no danger was approaching. Although he was nervous, he was also full of expectations. He knew that this operation would be the key to their success. After several days of intense work, Lin Jihua finally came to an important conclusion. The source of energy fluctuations is here. We need to find a core device to completely solve the problem. Lin Feng nodded and asked, then what should we do? Is there any specific method? Lin Jihua carefully examined an ancient manuscript and replied, according to the records here, we need to activate a special device that can stabilize energy fluctuations. But this requires very precise operation. Once a mistake is made, the consequences will be disastrous. Lin Feng clenched his fists, with a determined light flashing in his eyes. We will succeed. Dad, Mom, I believe in us. Li Shui smiled and nodded. Yes, we have been preparing for so long, and now we only have the last step. They began to follow the instructions on the manuscript and gradually activated the device. Lin Feng concentrated on every step to ensure that there were no mistakes. Lin Jiahua and Li Shui were monitoring changes in energy fluctuations to ensure the safety of the entire process. When the last step was completed, the entire laboratory began to shake, and the powerful energy fluctuations gradually stabilized. Lin Feng felt a powerful force coming from the device, and he knew that they had succeeded. At this moment, a strong light shot out from the device and enveloped the entire laboratory. Lin Feng's vision was blurry for a while, but he felt a warm power wrapping around him, as if he had entered a new world. When the light gradually dissipated, Lin Feng found himself standing in a completely new environment, surrounded by strange sights and energy. He knew that this was a change brought about by the device, and that they had entered a new stage. Lin Feng looked back at his parents, their eyes flashing with surprise and joy. Lin Jiahua smiled and said, "We succeeded, Lin Feng, we did it." Li Shui also said excitedly, "This is just the beginning, we still have a lot to do." Lin Feng took a deep breath and felt an unprecedented strength and determination. He knew that this was just one stage of their adventure, and there were more challenges and unknowns waiting for them ahead. "We will face everything together," Lin Feng said firmly. "No matter how many difficulties lie ahead, we will overcome them together." Lin Feng and his parents continued to move forward in this new environment, exploring the unknown world. Lin Feng's heart was full of excitement and expectation, but also a little nervous. They have experienced too many dangers and challenges, but each adventure makes them stronger and unite Yamato. One day, they came to a forest full of strange plants and creatures. The plants here emit a faint light, and there is a fresh breath in the air. Lin Feng looked around vigilantly to make sure there was no danger approaching. Just as they continued to move forward, Lin Feng suddenly felt a powerful impact coming from behind. He was caught off guard and was knocked to the ground hard, and there was a buzzing in his ears. Lin Feng struggled to get up, his eyes suddenly turned black and his ears were ringing. "Lin Feng, are you okay?" Lin Jiahua and Li Shui rushed to him in panic and helped him up. Lin Feng shook his head and tried to wake himself up. "I'm fine." "What attacked me?" At this time, a figure wearing red and blue tights jumped out from the trees and landed lightly in front of them. Lin Feng took a closer look and was surprised to find that it was Spider-Man. Spider-Man obviously realized his mistake and quickly raised his hands, looking a little apologetic. "I'm sorry, I thought you were enemies and took action without seeing clearly." Spider-Man quickly explained, his tone full of apology. Lin Feng took a deep breath and tried to calm down the shock and anger in his heart. "It doesn't matter, we are not enemies. We were just passing by and didn't expect to meet you." Spider-Man breathed a sigh of relief, put down his hands, and said friendly, "That's great. I am one of the guardians here, and the energy fluctuations here have caused a lot of trouble recently. When I saw you, I thought you were new enemy, I'm so sorry." Chapter 26. You will find out the first time. Lin Feng nodded and expressed his understanding. "We are also studying the source of these energy fluctuations and hope to find a solution. Can you tell us more information about this place?" Spider-Man seemed hesitant, but finally nodded. "The energy fluctuations here are very complex and involve many unknown factors. My companions and I have been working hard to maintain the balance here, but the situation is getting more and more difficult. If you really have a way to solve these problems, and we are very willing to cooperate." Lin Feng felt a surge of hope in his heart and turned to look at his parents, a firm light flashing in his eyes. "We will definitely do our best. Can you take us to meet your companions? Maybe we can find a solution together." Spider-Man nodded and motioned for them to follow him. They walked through the forest and came to a hidden base. There are many superheroes gathered here, and everyone seems extremely busy and nervous. Lin Feng felt a sense of awe in his heart. He knew that these people were fighting to protect the world. Spider-Man took them to a conference room, where other superheroes were already waiting for their arrival. Lin Feng looked around and saw familiar faces such as Iron Man, Black Widow, and Thor. Lin Feng felt his heart beat faster, but he tried to stay calm and briefly introduced his situation and purpose to them. Iron Man nodded and expressed understanding. "We have been studying the source of these energy fluctuations, but have not found an effective method. If you have new clues, please tell us as soon as possible." Lin Jiahua took out a piece of information and began to explain their research results and findings in detail. The superheroes listened carefully and nodded in agreement from time to time. Black Widow raised some key questions, and Lin Jiahua also answered them one by one. After a long discussion, they finally formulated a detailed plan and decided to take joint actions to solve the problem of energy fluctuations as soon as possible. Lin Feng, his parents, and the superheroes began to prepare various equipment and supplies needed for the operation. During the preparation process, Lin Feng had more interactions with Spider-Man. He discovered that Spider-Man is not only a brave warrior, but also a friend full of wisdom and humor. The two gradually established a deep friendship during the exchange, trusting and supporting each other. One night, Lin Feng and Spider-Man were sitting on the roof of the base, looking at the starry sky in the distance, filled with emotions. Lin Feng, you are really amazing. You have gone through so many dangers and challenges in order to find your parents. Spider-Man said with admiration in his tone. Lin Feng smiled and shook his head. Actually, I just did what I should do. You superheroes are the truly amazing ones. You have sacrificed so much to protect the world. Spider-Man smiled and patted Lin Feng on the shoulder. Each of us has our own mission and responsibility. As long as we persist, we will definitely see hope. Lin Feng nodded, feeling a firm force in his heart. Yes, we will definitely succeed. Early the next morning, Lin Feng, his parents and the superheroes were all ready to go, preparing for the final action. They gathered in the square of the base, and everyone's eyes were full of determination. Lin Feng felt an unprecedented strength, and he knew that this would be a fateful battle. Following Iron Man's order, they quickly divided into several groups and started taking action according to the plan. Lin Feng formed a team with Spider-Man and several other heroes, responsible for finding and activating key energy devices. They passed through many obstacles and finally arrived at the underground laboratory where the energy device was located. The equipment in the laboratory was complex and precise. Lin Feng and his parents quickly started operating it, while Spider-Man and other heroes were on guard to ensure that there was no enemy interference. Lin Feng concentrated on operating the equipment, feeling nervous and excited at the same time. He knew that this operation would determine their fate, and he had to succeed. My parents cooperated tacitly and the whole process went extremely smoothly. However, just as they were about to complete the last step, a powerful energy wave suddenly struck and the entire laboratory began to shake violently. Lin Feng felt a strong dizziness and almost lost his balance. Everyone, be careful. The energy fluctuations are unstable. Lin Jihua shouted nervously. Spider-Man quickly rushed forward and used his spider silk to fix some shaking equipment. Lin Feng, finish the last step quickly, we will hold on. Lin Feng took a deep breath, concentrated all his attention, and finally adjusted the last parameter. With a low roar, the energy device began to operate smoothly, and the surrounding vibrations gradually subsided. Lin Feng felt a huge relief, turned to his parents and Spider-Man and said, "We succeeded, the energy device has been stabilized." Spider-Man excitedly patted Lin Feng on the back. Well done, Lin Feng. You are such a genius. Lin Jihua and Li Shui also showed happy smiles. We finally solved this problem, and now everything is over. Just as they were about to leave, the door to the laboratory was suddenly knocked open by a strong force, and a figure broke in from the door. Lin Feng took a closer look and saw that it was an enemy covered in black armor. It was obvious that he had come with bad intentions. How dare you sabotage our plan? Don't even think about leaving alive, the enemy said viciously, with a dangerous light flashing in his eyes. Lin Feng felt a chill, but he quickly adjusted his mentality and prepared to face new challenges. He knew that this battle would be their ultimate test, and no matter how dangerous it was, they must persevere. Spider-Man rushed forward first and started a fierce fight with the enemy, while Lin Feng and his parents looked for the right moment to prepare for a counterattack. There was a tense atmosphere in the laboratory, and the air was filled with the smell of gunpowder. In this battle full of dangers and challenges, Lin Feng and his companions faced every new test with wisdom and courage. They know that only by uniting together can they finally defeat the powerful enemy and protect the world they love so much. As time passed, Lin Feng and his companions gradually gained the upper hand. The enemy's offensive began to weaken. Lin Feng seized the opportunity and launched a final blow, knocking the enemy to the ground. Calm returned to the laboratory, and Lin Feng felt a sense of relief, knowing that they had finally overcome all this. We did it, Lin Feng gasped and said to his parents and Spider-Man, this time it's really over. The parents and Spider-Man also breathed a sigh of relief and hugged each other to celebrate the victory. They know that this battle is not only a test of their strength, but also a test of their faith and courage. Chapter 27. Is this useful? In the following days, although the energy device had been stabilized, Lin Feng still dared not take it lightly. He knows that there are countless unknown dangers lurking in this mysterious world, and they must always remain vigilant. One morning, Lin Feng decided to buy some equipment in case of emergency. He took his parents and briefly explained the itinerary before leaving the base alone. He was feeling both nervous and expectant. After all, this was his first time acting alone in this strange world. Walking on the exotic streets, Lin Feng felt an atmosphere completely different from the Earth. The architecture here is strange and spectacular. There are all kinds of creatures walking on the streets, and every corner is full of unknown charm. I want to find an equipment store, Lin Feng decided secretly in his heart and quickened his pace. He looked around, looking for the target, silently hoping to find equipment that suited him. As he was wandering on the street, a small but beautifully decorated shop appeared in front of him. An ancient wooden sign hangs at the door of the store, which reads Exquisite Equipment Shop. Lin Feng's heart moved, and he felt that there should be something he needs here. Pushing open the store door, Lin Feng walked into the store and was greeted by an ancient atmosphere. There are all kinds of strange equipment and utensils displayed in the store, each of which exudes a unique light. Lin Feng felt a sense of wonder and was secretly glad that he had found the right place. The owner of the shop was an old man who looked very kind. He came up to me with a smile and asked, "Young man, what do you need?" Lin Feng replied politely, "I need some protective equipment and weapons to deal with the next danger." The old man nodded and led Lin Feng around the store, introducing the functions and uses of various equipment. Lin Feng listened carefully, constantly weighing the practicality and price of each piece of equipment in his mind. "This armor is very strong and can resist most physical attacks," the old man said, pointing to a piece of armor that shone with metallic luster. "And this sword is made of special materials. It is extremely sharp and suitable for close combat." Lin Feng carefully inspected every piece of equipment and finally selected a light but strong armor and an exquisite dagger. He knew in his heart that these equipment would become his important support in battle. "Thank you, boss, these equipment are very useful to me," Lin Feng said, feeling satisfied in his heart. The old man smiled and nodded, "You're welcome, young man. Remember, no matter what difficulties you encounter, you must remain calm and courageous." Lin Feng nodded and left the shop with the equipment, full of confidence and determination. He knows that the next journey is still full of unknown challenges, but he is fully prepared. After returning to the base, Lin Feng showed the newly purchased equipment to his parents. Lin Jiahua and Li Shui agreed with his choice and reminded him to be careful when using it. "Lin Feng, although these equipment are important, the most important thing is your wisdom and courage," Lin Jiahua said, his tone full of his father's concern. Lin Feng nodded, "I understand, Dad. These equipment are just auxiliary tools. What really determines victory or defeat is our own ability and determination." In the next few days, Lin Feng continued to train himself on the skills of using new equipment. Under the guidance of his parents, he learned how to flexibly use armor and daggers in combat, while also improving his physical fitness and reaction speed. He knows that only by constantly improving his abilities can he survive in this dangerous world. One night, Lin Feng was practicing alone on the training ground at the base. He wielded the dagger with quick and powerful movements, and every time he drew the sword, he was filled with determination and strength. Sweat flowed down his forehead, but he didn't care and continued every move with only one goal in mind: to become stronger. Just as he was concentrating on practicing, he suddenly heard a burst of applause from behind. Lin Feng looked back and found Spider-Man standing not far away with a smile on his face. "Well done, Lin Feng, your movements are getting better and better," Spider-Man said appreciatively and stepped forward. Lin Feng smiled slightly and said, "Thank you for your encouragement. I just want to improve my abilities as much as possible to cope with the next challenges." Spider-Man nodded, "This is very important. In this world, only by continuous progress can we protect ourselves and those around us." The two chatted for a while, and Spider-Man proposed to have a friendly match together to test Lin Feng's training results. Lin Feng readily agreed, and the two started a fierce duel on the training ground. Although Lin Feng was already very skilled in his movements, Spider-Man's speed and reaction ability still shocked him. The two of them go back and forth, and the battle is full of wisdom and skill. Lin Feng felt that he had learned a lot in the battle and understood more about how to use his own advantages. After the battle, Spider-Man patted Lin Feng on the shoulder and said with a smile, "Well done, Lin Feng. Your progress surprised me. Keep it up, you will definitely become an outstanding warrior." Lin Feng felt a burst of satisfaction and pride. "Thank you, Spider-Man. Your guidance is very important to me, and I will continue to work hard." Back in the rest area, Lin Feng lay on the bed, thinking about today's training and battle. He feels that his abilities are constantly improving, and his heart is full of expectations and confidence for the future. He knows that although the road ahead is full of unknowns and dangers, he is fully prepared and can deal with it calmly no matter what difficulties he encounters. As time goes by, Lin Feng, his parents and superheroes gradually uncover more secrets about energy fluctuations. They discovered that these energy fluctuations not only affect the balance of this world, but are also closely related to many other worlds. One day, Iron Man called everyone to a meeting and introduced their latest discovery. "We found that the source of these energy fluctuations may be related to a sealed ancient power. If we can find and unlock this seal, we may be able to completely solve the problem." After hearing this, Lin Feng felt excited and nervous. He knew that this would be an unprecedented adventure, but it was also their only chance. He said firmly, "We must find that seal, no matter how dangerous it is, we must try." Other superheroes also agreed and decided to go all out to launch this fateful action. In the subsequent preparations, Lin Feng continued to discuss the plan with his parents and superheroes to ensure that every detail was carefully considered. They know that this operation will be their biggest test and must be foolproof. Chapter 28. The Final Counterattack. On the day of the action, Lin Feng put on his newly purchased armor and dagger, preparing to face this challenging adventure. He took a deep breath and prayed silently in his heart that everything would go smoothly. As the operation unfolded, Lin Feng and his companions overcame numerous difficulties and finally arrived at the ancient ruins where the seal was located. The ruins are filled with mysterious energy fluctuations, and the air is filled with tension. Lin Feng led everyone carefully into the depths of the ruins and followed Iron Man's instructions to find the key nodes of the seal. He was both nervous and excited, knowing that this moment would determine their fate. When they finally found the location of the seal, Lin Feng felt a powerful energy coming from the ground. According to the plan, they gradually unlocked the chains of the seal and released the sealed ancient power. As the last chain was untied, the entire ruins began to shake violently, and a dazzling light rose from the ground, covering the entire space. Lin Feng felt a huge force surrounding him, as if he had entered a whole new world. Lin Feng worked with his parents and superheroes to unlock the seal, but they knew this was just the beginning. In order to learn more about the sealed ancient power, Lin Feng decided to go on an adventure with the Hulk Bruce Banner. Lin Feng felt that this journey would be full of dangers, but he believed that he and the Hulk could cope with everything. "Lin Feng, are you ready?" Bruce stood at the door of the laboratory, with a hint of concern in his tone. Lin Feng nodded, adjusted his backpack. "Ready, Bruce. Let's go." They left the base, passed through the city, and entered a wilderness. Along the way, Lin Feng and Bruce talked, sharing each other's thoughts and experiences. Lin Feng felt that although Bruce looked cold on the outside, his heart was full of warmth and kindness. He knew that he was lucky to be able to walk with such a powerful hero. After walking for several hours, they came to an ancient forest. This forest is full of mystery, and every tree seems to hide countless secrets. Lin Feng was nervous and looking forward to it, knowing that they were getting closer to their goal. "It's very strange here, we have to be careful," Bruce reminded, with an alert light flashing in his eyes. Lin Feng nodded, clenched the dagger in his hand, and remained highly vigilant. Suddenly, a powerful wave of energy came from the depths of the forest. Lin Feng felt dizzy and almost unsteady on his feet. "Bruce, be careful," Lin Feng shouted, his heart full of uneasiness. At this moment, a woman in a red cloak appeared in front of them, with a strange light flashing in her eyes, and she waved her hands gently, and the surrounding trees seemed to be responding to her call. "Who are you? Why did you break into my territory?" the woman asked coldly, with unquestionable majesty in her voice. Lin Feng took a deep breath and tried to calm down. "We have no malicious intentions, we are just here to find some answers. We need to understand the energy fluctuations in this forest." There was a trace of doubt in the woman's eyes. She looked at Lin Feng and Bruce, as if weighing their sincerity. Finally, she put down her hands, and the energy fluctuations gradually subsided. I am Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and this forest is my territory. Her voice became softer. The energy fluctuations you are talking about may be related to the ancient power here. I can help you, but you must ensure that it won't upset the balance here. Lin Feng felt relaxed. He nodded and said sincerely, "Thank you, Wanda. We just want to find the truth and will never destroy anything here." Wanda nodded slightly, turned around and motioned for them to follow her. Lin Feng and Bruce followed closely behind, full of expectation and caution. Wanda led them through the forest and came to a mysterious lake. The water of the lake flashes with strange light, seeming to hide countless secrets. Wanda stood by the lake and said softly, "This is the core of the forest, and there is ancient power hidden under the lake. You can find the answers you need here, but be careful, the power here is very powerful." Lin Feng felt a sense of shock. He knew that this would be a critical moment in their adventure. He looked at Bruce and found that the other person was also looking at the lake, his eyes full of determination. "Do we have to go down?" Lin Feng asked, with a hint of uncertainty in his tone. Wanda nodded, "Yes, you need to dive into the bottom of the lake and find the ancient seal. Only by unlocking it can you understand the real truth." Lin Feng took a deep breath and felt the tension and expectation in his heart intertwined. He knows this will be an unprecedented challenge, but he is ready. Bruce patted him on the shoulder and whispered, "Let's go down together. No matter what we encounter, don't give up." Lin Feng nodded and walked to the lake with Bruce. They put on special diving equipment, took a deep breath, and jumped into the cold lake water. The coldness of the lake quickly enveloped them, but they did not flinch and swam hard to the bottom of the lake. As they dived, the light at the bottom of the lake became brighter and brighter, and Lin Feng felt a powerful energy attracting them. His heart was filled with questions and expectations, knowing that the answer lay ahead. Finally, they came to the bottom of the lake, and a huge stone monument stood in front of them. The stone tablet is engraved with complex symbols and exudes a mysterious light. Lin Feng felt shocked and knew that this was the seal they were looking for. Bruce motioned to Lin Feng to approach the stone tablet together, and they carefully studied the symbols on it, trying to unlock the secrets. Lin Feng felt that these symbols seemed to contain some ancient wisdom, but he could not fully understand it for a while. "We need to find a way to open the seal," Bruce whispered, a determined light flashing in his eyes. Lin Feng nodded and tried to calm down. They carefully checked around the stone tablet and finally found a hidden mechanism. Lin Feng carefully touched the mechanism and the stone tablet began to make a low roar, and the surrounding lake began to vibrate violently. "Get back!" Bruce shouted, pulling Lin Feng back quickly. As the roar became louder and louder, the stone tablet began to slowly open, and a dazzling light shot out from it, covering the entire bottom of the lake. Lin Feng felt a huge energy wrapping around him, as if he had entered a whole new world. When the light gradually dissipated, Lin Feng found himself and Bruce standing in an unfamiliar space. It is full of strange sights, and the air is filled with powerful energy fluctuations. Lin Feng's heart was filled with shock and expectation, knowing that they had finally found the real answer. Chapter 29. You are so stupid. We must continue to move forward and find the source of this power, Bruce whispered, with a determined light flashing in his eyes. Lin Feng nodded and followed Bruce towards the source of energy. They continue to explore in this mysterious space, solve puzzles one after another, and gradually get closer to the truth. One day, they came to an ancient altar. There is a huge crystal standing on the altar. Countless rays of light are flashing in the crystal, which seems to contain infinite power. Lin Feng felt shocked and knew that this was the source of power they were looking for. "We must activate this crystal to unlock the secrets here," Bruce whispered and began to carefully examine the symbols on the altar. Lin Feng and Bruce worked together to gradually activate the crystal according to the instructions of the symbols. As the crystal gradually lights up, a powerful energy begins to flow in the air, and the entire space is filled with vibration and light. Just when they were about to complete the last step, suddenly, a figure appeared in the space. Lin Feng took a closer look and saw that it was Wanda the Scarlet Witch. A complex light flashed in her eyes, and she waved her hands gently, and the energy fluctuations around her also changed accordingly. "You have done a good job, but you still need my help for the last step," Wanda said softly and walked to the crystal. Lin Feng felt surprised, but he knew that Wanda was not an enemy. He nodded, "Thank you, Wanda. We need your help." Wanda smiled slightly, stretched out her hands, and injected her energy into the crystal. As her energy entered, the crystal emitted a dazzling light, and the entire space began to vibrate violently. "Hold on!" Bruce shouted, holding Lin Feng's hand tightly. Lin Feng felt a powerful force wrapping around him, as if it was going to tear him apart. But he gritted his teeth and tried to stay awake, knowing that this was a critical moment for their success. When the light gradually dissipated, Lin Feng found himself standing in front of the altar, holding a crystal flashing with strange light in his hand. He felt a rush of relief, knowing that they had finally found the answer. "We succeeded," Bruce breathed a sigh of relief and turned to Wanda and said, "Thank you for your help, Wanda." Lin Feng stood in front of the altar, holding the crystal that flashed with strange light in his hand. He felt a powerful energy flowing through his body, as if the secrets of the entire world were revealed in this crystal. Bruce and Wanda were beside him, their eyes full of expectation and trust. Lin Feng took a deep breath and felt that the connection between himself and the crystal was getting stronger and stronger. He closed his eyes, concentrated, and tried to master this power. He was both nervous and excited, knowing that he was standing at an important turning point. "Lin Feng, can you feel this power?" Bruce asked in a low voice, his eyes flashing with encouragement. Lin Feng nodded and slowly opened his eyes. "Yes, I can feel it. This power is very powerful, and I must control it carefully." Wanda smiled and said, "Don't be afraid, Lin Feng. You have enough wisdom and courage to control this power. Let it be your ally, not your enemy." Lin Feng took a deep breath and felt a burst of warmth and support in his heart. He knows that he is not alone, and with these powerful companions by his side, he can conquer anything. He slowly raised his hand and raised the crystal above his head. In an instant, a powerful energy was released from the crystal and gathered in the palm of his hand. Lin Feng felt an unprecedented power flowing through his body, and his body seemed to become light and powerful. "Concentrate, Lin Feng, and condense the energy into the form you want," Wanda instructed softly, with gentle encouragement in her tone. Lin Feng nodded, closed his eyes, and concentrated all his energy. He imagined the energy condensing into a black sphere in his hand. Slowly, he felt the power in his hand begin to change. After a moment, a black energy ball formed in his hand, flashing with a deep and mysterious light. "Successful!" Bruce said excitedly, his eyes full of joy. Lin Feng opened his eyes and looked at the black energy ball in his hand, feeling excited and nervous at the same time. He felt the power of this force, but also realized its danger. He must control it carefully and not let it get out of hand. "You did a good job, Lin Feng," Wanda said with a smile, admiration flashing in her eyes. "This energy ball contains huge power, but you need to learn how to control and utilize it." Lin Feng nodded and gently put the black energy ball back into his body. He felt a sense of relief, but at the same time he knew that the responsibilities on his shoulders had become heavier. He must learn how to use this power to truly solve the problem of energy fluctuations. They left the altar and returned to the lake. Lin Feng felt that he had experienced a huge change, and his heart was filled with strength and determination. Bruce and Wanda were beside him, silently supporting him. "What should we do next?" Bruce asked, his eyes full of anticipation. Lin Feng pondered for a moment and replied, "We need to return to the base and share our findings with other superheroes. This power can help us solve the problem of energy fluctuations, but we need to brainstorm and find the best solution." Wanda nodded. "You are right, Lin Feng. Unity is our most powerful weapon. Only by working together can we truly defeat this crisis." After returning to the base, Lin Feng and Bruce told the other superheroes about their discoveries and experiences in detail. After listening, everyone agreed and put forward many constructive suggestions. After a long discussion and during the preparation process, Lin Feng continued to train himself to master the skills of the black energy ball. Under the guidance of his parents and superheroes, he gradually learned how to accurately control this power to maximize its effectiveness. One night, Lin Feng was practicing alone on the training ground. He condensed a black energy ball and felt the huge power contained in it. He felt both excited and a little uneasy, knowing that he was about to face an unprecedented challenge. "Lin Feng, you did a good job," Bruce came over and patted him on the shoulder, his tone full of encouragement, "but remember, power itself is not the purpose, how to use it is the key." Lin Feng nodded and took a deep breath. "I understand, Bruce. Thank you for your guidance and support." At this moment, there was a sudden rush of footsteps, and a superhero rushed into the training ground with an anxious look on his face. Lin Feng, Bruce, we have discovered a powerful energy fluctuation, which may be related to ancient power. We need to act immediately. Chapter 30. Formal application. Lin Feng felt nervous, but he quickly adjusted his mentality, knowing that this was the moment for them to act. He and Bruce immediately gathered other superheroes and prepared to set off. Everyone, be careful, the enemy this time may be stronger than ever before, Iron Man said, with a determined light flashing in his eyes. They quickly set off towards the source of the energy fluctuations. Along the way, Lin Feng kept feeling the energy fluctuations around him, trying to find the best plan of action. His heart was both nervous and full of expectations, knowing that this would be a fateful battle. When they came to the source of the energy fluctuations, the sight in front of them shocked them. A huge energy vortex is spinning in the sky, and the surrounding space is distorted. Lin Feng felt a strong pressure, but he gritted his teeth and tried to stay calm. We must find a way to solve this energy vortex as soon as possible, Iron Man said, quickly starting to analyze the data. Lin Feng, your black energy ball may be the key. Lin Feng nodded, took a deep breath, and concentrated all his energy. He knows that this will be his biggest challenge, but he is ready. He raised the black energy ball in his hand and slowly guided it towards the energy vortex. As the black energy ball approached, the energy vortex began to vibrate violently, as if resisting this force. Lin Feng felt a huge reaction force, but he gritted his teeth and continued to move forward. His heart was filled with firm determination and he knew he could not retreat. Hold on, Lin Feng, we are right behind you. Bruce encouraged loudly, and other superheroes also expressed their support. Lin Feng felt a burst of warmth and strength. He knew that he was not alone and continued to guide the black energy ball forward. Finally, the black energy ball came into contact with the energy vortex, bursting out with a burst of dazzling light. Lin Feng felt a huge energy flowing in his body, as if the secrets of the entire world were being revealed at this moment. He knew that this would be a critical moment for their success. As the light gradually dissipated, the energy vortex began to slowly disappear, and the surrounding space gradually returned to normal. Lin Feng felt a huge sense of relief, knowing that they had finally succeeded. We did it, Lin Feng gasped and said to Bruce and other superheroes beside him. The energy vortex disappeared. Everyone cheered and hugged each other to celebrate the victory. Lin Feng felt a burst of satisfaction and pride, knowing that their efforts had finally paid off. In the days that followed, Lin Feng and his companions continued to work hard to consolidate their achievements and ensure that energy fluctuations would never occur again. They know that this is just the beginning and there are many unknown challenges waiting for them, but they are fully prepared. Lin Feng was lying on the bed, thinking back on his experiences in these days, feeling filled with a sense of accomplishment and a little tired. He knows that there are more unknowns and challenges waiting for him on the road ahead. But at this moment, he just wanted to take a good rest and accumulate strength for the next journey. The next morning, Lin Feng was awakened by a knock on the door. He rubbed his eyes, walked to the door, opened the gate of opening, and found Bruce standing outside the door, holding an ancient wooden box in his hand. Good morning, Lin Feng, Bruce said with a smile, handing the wooden box to him. This is a gift for you. I hope it can help you on your next journey. Lin Feng took the wooden box and felt a strange energy emanating from the box. He opened the box and found an ancient compass inside. The compass has an exquisite appearance, and the pointer points quietly in one direction, seeming to be telling some mysterious power. This is a special compass, Bruce explained, with the light of wisdom flashing in his eyes. It can not only indicate the direction, but also sense energy fluctuations to help you find hidden secrets. Lin Feng felt excited, knowing that this compass would become an important tool for him. He looked at Bruce gratefully and said, "Thank you, Bruce, this means so much to me." Bruce smiled slightly and patted Lin Feng on the shoulder. You are our hope, Lin Feng. We all believe you can succeed. Lin Feng nodded and put the compass into his pocket, his heart filled with strength and determination. He knows that the next journey will be more difficult, but he is ready and will persevere no matter what difficulties he encounters. On this day, Lin Feng and Bruce embarked on a journey again, targeting a legendary ancient ruins. It is said that the final answer to solving energy fluctuations is hidden there, and the compass will guide them to find the ruins. They passed through dense forests and climbed steep mountains. The journey was full of dangers and challenges. The compass in Lin Feng's hand kept guiding them in the direction they were going, and every movement of the pointer seemed to tell the secrets ahead. On a quiet night, Lin Feng and Bruce sat by the campfire, looking at the stars in the night sky, each thinking deeply in their hearts. Lin Feng held the compass, feeling the power contained in it, and his heart was full of expectations. "Bruce, do you think we can really find the answer to the energy fluctuation?" Lin Feng asked in a low voice, with a trace of uncertainty flashing in his eyes. Bruce looked at Lin Feng with a smile and said firmly, "I believe we will be able to find the answer. Every difficulty is a test. As long as we don't give up, we will succeed." Lin Feng nodded and felt a force rising in his heart. He knew that this journey was not only to find answers, but also to prove his courage and determination. The next day, they continued to move forward and finally came to a desolate plain. The compass pointer points to a hidden cave ahead, and the surrounding area is full of ancient atmosphere. Lin Feng and Bruce carefully entered the cave and found that many ancient documents and relics were preserved inside. They carefully read these documents, trying to find useful information. While they were studying the documents, suddenly, a low roar came from the cave, and the entire cave began to shake violently. Lin Feng felt nervous, but he quickly adjusted his mentality and knew that he had to deal with it calmly. "Bruce, there is a situation, we have to be careful," Lin Feng whispered, clenching the dagger in his hand. Bruce nodded and motioned for Lin Feng to follow him. They walked along the depths of the cave and finally discovered a huge stone beast, roaring furiously. The stone beast's eyes flashed with red light, as if it was protecting something. "We must defeat it before we can move forward," Bruce said, transforming into the Hulk and preparing to fight.